Well, hello there. My name is Beth Gaff, and I am the technology trainer here at the Peabody Public Library. And first off, I just want to let you know that this class is geared to go at your pace, which means that you can stop this, go away from this, and come back to this at any time. You're under no obligation to sit through this class in one entire setting. So please, please, please do it at your own pace. I have gotten a lot of questions here lately about what is the difference between Chromebook and Windows 10 laptops. That's that new Windows 10 software that comes on those laptops you're buying nowadays. So I thought that I might just go ahead and have a class in regards to that. So this entire class is going to be about Chromebook versus Windows 10. So if you have any questions about what's going on, please feel free to contact me. All my information is listed here on the screen for you, and I would be happy to assist you with any kind of questions you may have in regards to Chromebooks versus Windows 10 or any other kind of computer or device type question that you may have as well. I've gotten a very great, huge response from all the online classes and the stream classes that are on the channel here. I've had several get in contact with me from different states. I highly, highly appreciate that. Makes me feel like I'm doing a good job, so keep the compliments coming. So without further ado, I want to welcome you to Chromebooks versus Windows 10. So this class is quite large. There's a lot that we're going to be discussing and going over that has to do with Chromebooks and Windows 10. So what we're going to discuss in class today is what you should buy, the interface of both of those systems or computers, as well as what the difference is between Cortana and Google Now, or also known as OK Google. We also are going to talk about some apps and software, the CPU, RAM, and storage of both of those types of devices, the screen, keyboard, and webcam, also any photo and video editing that is available for those devices, web browsing and how they differ, file management, some productivity, gaming, media playback, some security features that you might want to know about when it comes to those devices, hardware options, tallying up the difference, other types of statistics. We're going to go over pricing, and we're going to do that together. And then, of course, the winner is. So these are some of the topics that we're going to be discussing as class goes on today. And again, feel free to stop this as you're going on so you can pick it up later. I don't expect that you're going to be able to get through this all in one setting. So definitely pace yourself. If you have any questions or comments about what you're hearing or any of the factual information that is within this class, please get in contact with me. I would love to assist you on that. So we are going to get started on what you should buy. All right, so let's talk a minute about what you should buy. Chromebooks have grown from a curiosity to a force to be reckoned with. Offering a simple and stripped-down experience, Google's Chrome OS is extremely easy to use. If you can use a browser, you're good. And it comes inside several affordable laptops that cost as low as $159. However, Microsoft isn't taking this threat lightly. With the launch of Windows 10, users can take advantage of a much improved start menu along with the helpful Cortana assistant. Existing Windows machine owners were able to upgrade to Windows 10 for free until July 29th of 2016. Despite the new OS, Windows device prices remain the same. You'll find a number of Windows-powered laptops that cost less than $200 each, and many under $400 offer touch displays. So which computing platform is truly the best? To answer the question, we're going to put both Windows and Chrome OS to the test and compare them in a head-to-head competition. So next we're going to talk about the interfaces of both of those devices. So as you can see just by looking at this slide, the differences in the interfaces of Windows 10 and Chromebook. Okay? Compared to the two distinct environments of Windows 8.1, Windows 10 feels more integrated and seamless. Pressing the Start button reveals the new Start menu, filled with your most used programs and recently installed apps on the left, which is very similar to what you were experiencing with Windows 8. To the right is a wider panel where you can pin tiles that are animated with updates. The taskbar has been updated to include a Cortana search bar next to the start button and small icons that show which programs are open. On the bottom right of the desktop, Windows 10 adds a notification icon that, when clicked, brings you to the new Action Center, where you can see alerts for apps that are both active and dormant. There are also quick settings in this notifications menu in the form of tiles. Now, in the newest version of Chrome OS, the Start Like button sits in the bottom left corner. When pressed, the launcher pop-up features a Google search bar and the most recent Google Doodle, with a list of your most recently opened apps. Scrolling down reveals Google Now info cards, which give you information like local weather, suggested articles based on your search activity, and calendar updates. The taskbar in Chrome OS shows icons for currently active apps as well as shortcuts to essential Google apps such as Docs, Drive, and YouTube. Basic settings such as Wi-Fi and time are accessed on the bottom right. Chrome OS was built as a web-first operating system, so apps usually run in a Chrome browser window. The same is true for apps that can run offline. Both Windows 10 and Chrome are great for working in side-by-side windows. For each OS, all you need to do is drag a window to one side, where it snaps to a half-screen mode. However, Windows lets you snap up to 4 windows, which is compared to 2 for the Chrome OS. Another thing to consider is touch-free friendly devices. These are Windows 10 and Chrome OS laptops with touchscreens, but Windows 10 makes the most out of those displays. The operating system has tablet mode, which removes your taskbar icons and puts all apps in full screen mode, leaving you with a minimalist workspace that removes a lot of desktop distractions. And with the new Universal Apps in Windows App Store, you will be able to run most of your favorite programs in both desktop and tablet modes. So for this particular area of the interfaces, the winner is Chrome OS. Though it's less versatile, Chrome OS offers a simpler and more straightforward interface than Windows 10. So it is a little bit more complex than Windows 10, but you can see the differences between the way that they're set up. Now we're going to be talking about Cortana and that OK Google feature. In many ways, the new Cortana in Windows 10 is like Google Now or OK Google in Chrome. Clicking on the Cortana search bar brings up a window with useful information including the weather, your next calendar appointment, and local restaurants to check out. If you have Hey Cortana enabled, you can say the phrase to bring up a window and ask any question you want. So I asked it, how do you get from New York City to DC? And Cortana brought up a Bing search result page with a map of the route between the two cities. On the flip side, Chrome OS has a similar feature you can enable in the settings called OK Google. That will let you ask Google Now questions when the launcher is open and when a blank Chrome tab is open. When asked the same question, how do you get from New York City to DC, Google Now brought up a similar search in Google with a map of the route. In addition, the voice assistant spoke to me, saying it takes 4 hours and 9 minutes to get to Washington, D.C. from Manhattan with light traffic. Google Now tends to speak more than Cortana does, audibly giving you related information about your initial search. However, Cortana does a lot more than Google Now. For instance, you can perform natural language searches for files on your laptop, dictate emails, book appointments, and yes, tell jokes. So for this scenario, the winner would be Windows 10. Cortana is more versatile than Google Now. You can do more with Cortana than you can with Google Now, which is also known as OK Google. But really it is up to the person that's using these devices of which one's going to fit their needs a little bit better. But according to my research, I'd have to go with Cortana on this one. So let's talk about some of those apps and the software for the Windows apps as well as the Google apps. For a laptop to be fully functional, you'll need a few basic programs, including ones for productivity, photo editing, video playback, music playback, and a browser. For Windows laptops and Chromebooks, all of that's possible, but Google's OS is still a work in progress. If there's a program you want to run, chances are Windows supports it, and that goes for most games as well. Looking for a more tablet-like experience or have a system with a touchscreen? Some of your favorite Windows 10 apps include Facebook, Kindle, and Flipboard. All three of those options offer interactive live tiles to keep you updated on what's happening in the world. The Dropbox app on Windows 10 is clean and simple to use, as is Adobe Photoshop Express. So, Microsoft claims that there are 669,000 apps in their Windows Store. Now, Chrome OS is basically a big browser. So if you can run a program or play a game through a website, you can use it in Chrome. There isn't exactly software to download, but there is a decent array of apps. Keep in mind, however, that if a game requires Adobe Flash or a dedicated plugin, you won't be able to open it in Chrome. Reports say that Chromebooks may soon be able to run as many as 1 million Android apps, which would significantly boost the number of available programs. The Chrome Web Store currently offers thousands of apps, though Google doesn't provide the exact number. A few dozen of those apps offer at least some offline functionality, such as Kindle Cloud Reader and Google Drive for reading and editing on the go. Also, you can change the settings in some programs, such as Google Docs, to access them offline. In addition, Google has connected some Chrome and Android apps, such as Evernote and Spotify, for a seamless experience across devices. So, there's really no comparison between Windows apps and Google apps. The Windows App Store offers you almost 670,000 apps, whereas your Google App Store, you're really only getting thousands of them. So there's really no comparison when it comes to the apps and software. You're going to be able to do a lot more on that Windows 10 device than you're going to be able to do on the Google Chrome device. So again, though, it really is a preference. So if you enjoy your Google Chrome and you don't want to go to the Windows 10, there's nothing wrong with that. You're just very limited on what you can do. So keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and move on to some of the storage that's involved, the RAM and the CPU unit. Currently, all Chromebooks ship with Intel processors. Due to a deal inked between Google and Intel, almost all Chromebooks released in 2016 and this year are equipped with Intel processors. For the AMD faithful, this may be an issue, but for most, the Intel mobile line and 5th generation Core processors can handle Chrome OS just fine. It's difficult to make a direct comparison of amount of power you get from Chromebook compared to a standard Windows laptop or Apple MacBook, largely because each one comes with an OS that uses its resources differently. Chrome OS is light, so it runs well on worse, less powerful hardware, so the comparison is a mute one. If you were to install Windows on a laptop that had identical specs, it would run slower, simply for the fact that Windows has tons of extra processors and tasks it runs in the background while nothing else is going on. In short, Windows requires more horsepower to run, much like a big truck requires a larger engine over a smaller car. Now, as far as the storage goes, one area where Chromebook still needs to catch up is with the onboard storage. Because they're made to be cheap and light, almost all Chromebooks come with an SSD opposed to a standard HDD, which ups the cost of the manufacturing. As such, it's rare to find any model of a Chromebook with more than 32 gigs of available onboard storage. To compensate, most Chromebooks will come with 100 gigs of free cloud storage provided by Google's own Drive service. If the idea of keeping all your data on the cloud doesn't sound like your cup of tea, however, it might be better to simply go with a standard laptop instead. Laptops, on the other hand, come in pretty much any storage configuration you can think of. Want your operating system on the SSD and your games and movies on HDD hookup? There's a laptop just for that. Don't mind long loading times and just want much space as possible? There's a 3 terabyte hard drive just for you. So it does have more space on there for you. It's going to be able to store more information. So if you don't care about the online storage using the cloud, then the Chromebook would be perfect for you. But if you want more of that onboard, or in other words, internal memory, then you'd probably be better off to be getting a Windows 10 computer to do that for you. But again, this is all preference and what you prefer. So let's talk about the screen comparison, the keyboard comparison, and the webcam comparison. Talking from a screen perspective, the Toshiba Chromebook 2 offers an excellent screen for the Chromebook. In the pursuit of making these laptops as affordable as possible, sometimes sacrifices need to be made. Screen quality is an area where almost all Chromebooks lag woefully behind the 1366 by 768 curve, and it's expected that unless it's a model that specifically touts its HD capacity, you probably won't be showing it off to your coworkers anytime soon. There are some exceptions to the rule, of course. The Toshiba Chromebook 2 was the number one pick of the lot for the best Chromebook for 2017. A title it won in large part thanks to its absolutely 1920 by 1080 HD IPS screen. If you plan on watching a lot of Netflix or working with color-sensitive creative materials online, this model is one of very few that would be able to handle it. On the laptop side of things, it's a bit all over the place. Some laptops sport stunning 4K screens that can plug Blu-ray content at its absolute peak, while others are so grainy you can barely read a paragraph of text on them without having to adjust your glasses twice. Where touchscreens are concerned, while Windows does maintain the advantage on the sheer number of touchscreen laptops available, many of them are subpar in quality. Comparatively, the Asus Flip Chromebook, the Asus Flip Chromebook, made the top Chromebooks of 2017 list for both its solid design and a touchscreen that responds to even the slightest graze of your finger. So it just depends on the quality. You do get what you pay for. So if you're only paying, $100 for a Chromebook, you're probably not going to get the full extent of everything it can do. Same concept with a laptop. If you're paying very, very minimal, then you're going to get very, very minimal. It's not any different than anything else that we purchase on a regular basis. Now, excuse me, as far as that keyboard or the trackpad is also known, while some Chromebooks are built as cheap as possible and come with keyboards or trackpads to match, others, like the Toshiba Chromebook 2, are an absolute dream to type on. Because Chromebooks are made as machines that can help you with work, school, or generally getting a lot of typing done, most of the keyboards on a Chromebook will do the job with flying colors. The trackpads, on the other hand, are a bit hit or miss. Cost compared against Windows machines, you're going to get a similar deal in quality. If you opt for a MacBook, however, the trackpad will clearly be superior due to the increased price and money spent on the overall quality of the surrounding hardware. So again, you get what you pay for. If you buy a cheap unit, you're going to get cheap qualities. If you buy a more expensive unit, you're going to get more fancier qualities. Now, what about that webcam? This one is a bit of an even draw. Chromebooks may come with some cheap components, but Google knows that all of the features that people want on a laptop, the webcam should be up to par. Comparing webcams from several of the top Chromebooks on the market right now against what you get in a Windows laptop or MacBook, 5 times the cost, it's clear that any Chromebook worth its salt will have a webcam that works in most lightning situations, even if you still can't use it to call someone over Skype. So, you're just going to want to kind of compare those different qualities that those devices will have for you, Chrome versus the Windows 10, as well as the keyboard and how it's arranged, to see what's going to work beneficial to you most of all. So next we're going to be talking about photo and video editing. Let's get into a little bit about the photo and video editing software that would come with each one of these types of devices. Windows 10 offers a photo editing program including support for Photoshop Elements, Adobe's Creative Suite, and many other options simply don't exist on the Chromebook. What you will find on the web-based Chrome OS platform are some basic editing options such as Photoshop Express and Pixlr Editor. Using the latter, I took a high-resolution photo of a tiger and quickly added effects and an overlay and text and adjusted the color for brightness, contrast, focal blur, and much more. It's an easy-to-navigate program with straightforward tools. If you're a casual photo editor, these will probably suffice. You won't be able to access Photoshop Express offline, but Pixlr Editor works the same online as it does offline. With Windows 10 came the introduction of Microsoft's new Photos app, which has basic photo editing tools. When you open a photo in the app, you can choose the option to edit it from the top right navigation bar, which opens up tools on the right and left sides of the photo. In basic fixes, you'll find options like Auto Enhance, which bumps up the contrast and saturation, and in some cases straightens out an image, rotate, crop, and retouch. For more controlled editing, you can manipulate light by the brightness, contrast, highlights, and shadows. You can also manipulate the colors by temperature, tint, and saturation. And there are filters and effects to give your photos more personal look. Anyone who has used mobile photo editors like Instagram and Afterlight will easily get the hang of the new Windows Photo app. More serious photographers will want to download programs like Adobe Photoshop to have full control over their images, which is not an option on Chrome OS. Filmmakers will also find the Chrome Web Store a lonely place. You will find simple, no-frills options such as Majesto and WeVideo that offer auto correction and editing with a few clicks. But you won't find CyberLink PowerDirector as its professional suite of tools. That's available exclusively to the Windows 10 crowd. So for this particular one, the winner would be Windows 10. Beginners and pros alike get the most options in a Windows 10 laptop as far as photo and video editing go. So definitely want to check these out if you decide that one or the other is going to meet your needs a little bit better. So you definitely want to get on there and see what kind of photo and video editing software is available for you. Let's talk a little bit about the differences between the web browsing when it comes to the Chromebook or Windows 10. Chrome is a great browser that offers strong performance, a clean, easy-to-use interface, and tons of extensions. But if you own a machine running Chrome OS, you better really like it because there aren't any alternatives. The Chrome browser on Chrome OS cannot run Flash or other important plugins such as Java, meaning that sometimes you will run into compatibility problems when trying to view certain websites or select extensions. Now, on the other hand, Windows 10 can also run a Chrome along with pretty much every other web browser ever made, giving you the flexibility to surf the internet exactly how you want to. Microsoft's newer browser, Edge, also has some handy features not found in Chrome, such as the ability to write directly on websites and send those notes and scribbles to friends. Cortana search embedded on the same page, and a reading mode that removes distracting elements like ads and saves articles so that they can be viewed offline. So in this scenario, the winner would be Windows 10. Chrome is good, but Windows 10 lets you see Chrome along with a bunch of other web browsers. So the choice is definitely going to be Windows 10 when it comes to the web browsing. But again, it's a preference. So if you are into wanting to explore a little bit more with the Chromebook, I highly recommend it. I own a Chromebook. I also own a laptop. I have them both. I use them both regularly. So it's really going to just depend on what's going to meet your needs. So with both devices, you do still have some type of a file manager or management that's going to keep track of all those files and photos and whatnots for you. So Windows still provides a traditional and familiar folder of files, which appears in the Simple File Explorer program. You can also save to your desktop, pin documents to the bar, and create new folders in a jiffy. You can even access your Microsoft OneDrive files to see what you've stored in the cloud. There's also a Files folder in the main menu for Chromebooks, but it's not in the Start menu by default as it is on Windows 10. From here, you can access your Google Drive files or any files that have been downloaded and saved to the machine's storage drive. The main drawback for Chromebook users is the smaller amount of space you're likely to have on your machine's hard drive. The Asus Chromebook C202, for example, offers 16 gigs of local storage, and Google offers 15 gigs of cloud storage for free. For 2 years, you can access 100 gigs of drive cloud storage for free, but then you'll have to pay $1.99 per month for 100 gigs of additional storage if you need it. Also, you can purchase up to 1 terabyte of online space for $9.99 per month if you need more. People who need a lot of storage can buy up to 30 terabytes for $300 per month. In comparison, the Windows-powered Dell Inspiron 11-3000 comes with a 500 gig hard drive, and a 15 gig of OneDrive storage is available for free through a Microsoft account. You can access files on your Windows 10 PC via the Start menu in the File Explorer. Also, with Cortana integrations, you can type in commands such as "Show me photos from last week," and it will bring up files and fit those criteria. So in this category, the winner would have to be Windows 10. People who keep tons of photos, videos, and other files will want the local storage space that Windows offers. So you're going to get a lot more storage space with that Windows 10 than you're going to get with the Chromebook. So if you are a picture taker and you need a lot of space, then the laptop's probably going to be a better decision for you on that aspect. Being the go-to business-friendly operating system, Windows 10 is the standard when it comes to getting stuff done. As such, many businesses use software that is compatible only with Windows. For instance, you won't be using AutoCAD design software on a Chromebook. Microsoft's own Office suite, which includes Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, is also the standard barrier for productivity software. But that's not your only option on a Windows machine. You can use Google Drive, OpenOffice, or any number of third-party software programs. On Chromebooks, you can still access Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, but they're Microsoft's web-only versions of the apps available through OneDrive. These options require you to be online to use them. You can download files to your local storage and edit them there, but your system will open them on Google Drive files. These are third-party productivity options for Chrome OS, including Zoho and Polaris, but most of those programs require an internet connection as well. Google Drive, however, works offline, and we really like the real-time collaborative editing and number of useful add-ons. Also, Microsoft has created Chrome apps for its Office suite of tools, including Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, so you can create and edit these documents on a Chrome OS. In typical fashion, they are web apps you need to download and install to use, and they are available only for online use. So in this scenario, again, the winner would be Windows 10. If you're not into the Google Drive for all your productivity needs, Windows is the way to go because you can still access your Google Drive from your Windows as well. So keep that in mind when you're trying to decide on the productivity as far as all those suites and PowerPoint, Excel, Publisher, Word, and all those kind of things. Most hardcore games require some serious specs, including discrete graphic chips, plenty of onboard storage, and advanced processing power. That's totally doable in a high-end Windows 10 machine, such as the Alienware 17R3, but the lower-end machines won't be able to handle it. There are currently no Chromebooks aimed at gaming, and AAA titles aren't available on Chrome OS. As such, you will not be able to download or play World of Warcraft, Dota 2, Overwatch, Rocket League, or The Witcher 3 on a Chromebook. The games simply aren't supported by Google's operating system. You will find some casual and popular games in the Chrome Web Store, including Cut the Rope and Plants vs. Zombies, so it's not a total bust. Of course, all those same casual games are available on Windows 10 as well. Additionally, Chrome OS doesn't support Steam, EA's Origin, Ubisoft's Uplay, and other gaming portals. Another perk Microsoft added is the ability to stream Xbox One games to a Windows 10 PC. With the Xbox One app installed on the Windows 10 device, you can hook up an Xbox One controller to the computer and play titles you'd normally play on your console. Just note that another player can't use your Xbox at the same time. So in this scenario, the winner would be Windows 10. You simply cannot run many of the games you might want to play on a Chromebook. So keep that in mind when you're getting ready to do that gaming of what kind of games are supported by your device and what you can use and what you can't use. That might be a really, really determining factor when it comes down to you choosing between a Chromebook and a laptop. We all love our music and media, so let's talk a little bit about the media playback for Windows 10 versus the Chromebook. Neither Windows 10 nor Chrome OS supports every file type ever made, but on a Microsoft-powered machine, you have the option of downloading codecs to play those files on your laptop. QuickTime files, among several other types, cannot be played back on a Chromebook. For media files, Chromebooks support the .3GP, .avi, .mov, .mp4, .m4v, .mp3, .mkv, .ogv, .ogm, .ogg, .oga, .webm, and .wave. That means there's no .aac file support and thus no iTunes. You also won't find .h264 files, which is the backdrop for some 60% of all the web videos and default codec in which many cameras record. Chrome OS doesn't support .tiff image files either. In addition to all the file types supported by Google's OS, Microsoft Windows Media Center natively supports .aac, .asf, .asx, .m2ts, .m3u, .mpg, .mpeg, .qt, .wmv, .vod, and .wma files. You can also play optical discs on Windows 10 with the necessary hard drive, but you won't be able to play DVDs or Blu-ray discs on a Chromebook. So again, winner would be Windows 10. You're unlikely to find a file you can't play on Windows 10. So keep that in mind when you're wanting to do the playback version for those files that you may have on your computer. Not everything's going to be supported from a Chromebook, but you should be able to get it supported through Windows 10. Windows has long been a known target for hackers looking to infect PCs with viruses, malware, and keyloggers. In fact, the first thing anyone should do with a new Windows laptop is install an antivirus suite. However, Microsoft's Windows Defender does come built in, and that's better than nothing. Windows Defender runs in the background and notifies you if you need to take an action, such as removing a virus. The Smart Screen feature also warns you when it doesn't recognize an app to help prevent phishing attacks. Plus, the Secure Boot feature means that every time you turn on your laptop, it will check itself for digital certificates of authenticity before it boots. That means it will not load infected software. Cloud customers have access to a few extra security features. Device Guard protects Windows 10 machines from any unknown software that hasn't been approved by an official vendor or Microsoft itself. In an effort to expand on its biometric system, Microsoft is enabling Windows Help to unlock devices by using fingerprint scanners. Also, if you have an Intel RealSense camera, you can use your face to access the device or Microsoft Passport without a PIN. Chromebooks have not yet caught the eye of many hackers, but more than that, Google promotes the security of its operating system as a key selling point. A Chromebook automatically checks for and applies security updates while including web filters and sandboxing media. Also, Chrome OS doesn't support Flash, so any security issues surrounding it won't affect the system. If something does get into your Chrome OS system, restoring it to factory settings requires only a couple of clicks of the mouse pad. The only security problem Chromebook owners really face is thieves looking to hack the sites you use, where a lot of personal data is stored. So for this particular scenario, the winner would be Chrome OS. Assuming you can keep your Google password to yourself, you're safer in a Chrome. But if you need more information about this, you can get on Mobile Security Guide, everything you need to know. Or you can also look for best antivirus protections for PCs. Let's talk about some of those hardware options that you have between the two of them. Variety is the spice of life, and fewer types of technology offer as much variety as Windows PCs. The screens alone can range in size from 11 to 18 inches, both with and without touch capability. 8 major manufacturers create Windows laptops offering Intel and AMD chips, onboard memory that varies widely from 2 gigs to 16 gigs, and storage sizes that go up to a terabyte level. Some Windows machines are plastic and some are metal. So some come in non-standard colors, some are meant to be portable, while others are more desk-bound. You'll also find Windows machines dedicated to businesses and gamers, and 2-in-1 machines that double as notebooks and tablets. There truly is an option for everyone when it comes to Windows. The Chromebook market is smaller but growing steadily. During all my research, I received over 20 Chromebooks from companies including Acer, Dell, Asus, HP, Lenovo, Toshiba, among others. The display size ranges from 11 to 15 inches, but most are smaller than 15 inches. Only a couple of models offer a touchscreen. Chromebooks are incredibly portable though, usually weighing between 2 and 4 pounds. You'll find some niche Chromebooks popping up for business customers. These machines, such as the Gorilla Glass Enforced Acer Chromebook 14 and HP Chromebook 13, place an emphasis on security and durability. So overall, when it comes to the hardware options, the winner would be Windows 10. Microsoft's ecosystem gives you more options, which means you're more likely to find something that you will really, really like when it comes to that. We are going to be looking at some of the statistics later on when it comes to some of this stuff, so be looking for that. I want to talk a little bit about the value of some of this. There was a time when the only laptops priced under $200 were Chromebooks, but with Microsoft's initiative to make Windows 10 machines more affordable, the gap is priced between Windows 10 and Chrome OS devices have been completely eliminated. Take the 14-inch Acer Aspire 1 Cloudbook, starting at $199. This machine is well-built 14-inch system with an astounding 14-plus hours of battery life. Then there's the Lenovo IdealPad 100S, which features an attractive 2.2-pound design, a comfy keyboard, and more than 9 hours of endurance. And actually, we're going to look into some of these values when we do a live pricing demo together here in a little bit. In Chrome OS world, you can get a laptop like the Asus Chromebook 0201 for as little as $168 if you opt for the 2 gig of RAM, or $189 with the 4 gig of RAM which I would recommend that you would do the 4 gig. If you're willing to spend more, consider the Toshiba Chromebook, which gives you a lot of laptop for your money. With a 13.3-inch full HD display, which is a rarity on PCs in this price range, 4 gigs of RAM and 13 hours of battery life, all for just $299. Dell's Chromebook 13 costs $100 more for pretty much the same specs, but it has more durability design and is targeted more toward businesses. If you can be swayed by the addition of promotional goodies, both Google and Microsoft have some attractive incentives that may help sweeten the deal. Currently, Google is offering several $100s worth of free stuff to customers purchasing a new Chromebook, including 100 gigs of storage on Google Drive, 12 free GoGo in-air internet passes, 90 days of Google Play Music, and 3 free movies from Google Play. Deals from Microsoft vary from vendor to vendor, but budget machines often include a free 1-year subscription to Office 365, which includes Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, and 500 gigs of storage on OneDrive, which is a $70 value. If you want the best productivity suite, the subscription is more desirable than Google's collection of freebies. So for this, there would just be a tie. Prices are about the same for each, the OS and the Windows 10 machine, offering a wider range of configuration, but Google's free add-ons are hard to ignore. So we can see that right here as far as Microsoft Windows came out on top in this particular battle, winning 9 out of the 12 rounds that we were trying to do one-on-one here. It simply offers shoppers more apps, more photos, and video editing options, more browser choices, more productivity programs, more games, more types of file support, and more hardware options. You can also do more offline, plus the cost of the Windows 10 PC can now match the value of the Chromebook. If you're comfortable living in the cloud and you want to get stuff done in a secure yet simple environment, a Chromebook will suit you nicely. However, if you need power and versatility, Windows 10 reigns supreme. So keep that all in mind as you're going through all of this. So I'm going to take a look at some more statistics that I've got here on the next slide. So let's take a look at some more statistics. Okay, so this slide is just kind of showing you some of the taking a look at other statistics as far as portability, the display, keyboarding, app selection, offline, productivity, battery life, value, and as far as the total points go. They have this marked as tablets, but that would be more like your Windows 10. Also, there's a browser battle there. It kind of lets you know that with Windows 10, you can get all of these. You get Edge, Chrome, Firefox, how fast the speeds are for those. So this is just taking another look at some specific type of statistics. Now, when it comes to Chromebook versus the laptop, which is right for you, if you can't decide on a Chromebook or laptop, then you can definitely research some of that. The operating system for Chrome, the Chrome OS, is limited to Android-like apps, which means that third-party ones aren't allowed. The 3 main competing laptop operating systems include OS X on MacBooks, Windows 10 on the third-party laptop, and Linux. Chrome OS, in this case Chromebooks, which entered the fray not too long ago and is similar to that of an Android, certainly isn't for everyone. However, it still serves its limited purpose pretty well across the board. Personally, I use a Chromebook, and I've used one for quite some time for road trips and things like that. The OS for the Chromebook has never crashed on me. There might be an occasional stutter during the videos on YouTube, but otherwise, the lean, mean design of the Chrome OS prevents it from experiencing any significant hang-ups. Windows is the exact opposite of this, of course. By this point, the word Windows has basically become synonymous with pulling your hair out. And although OS X enjoyed a few years of flawless bliss and MacBooks were gaining in popularity, its reliability has since dropped quite a bit. With that being said, one of the main reasons both OS X and Windows have problems at all is because they support third-party software and applications while Chrome OS does not. And again, last, there's Linux. Technically, there are ways you can install a custom Linux build on a Chromebook. So if you're not totally sold on a Chrome OS, but still want a new laptop for not a lot of money, you can check out some certain kind of guides on the models that can support the operating system type swap. So, and again, when we talk about some of the apps and software, of all the complaints you'll hear of why Chromebooks don't measure up, the lack of available software or apps is the one that most grounded in reality. The fact is, Chrome OS is an extremely closed-off ecosystem, one which only allows you to perform a few select functions and not much else. Google keeps their operating system secure by restricting what can be installed on a Chromebook, if you could even call it that. Almost all of your apps you install on your machine don't actually run locally. Instead, Chrome places an icon in your start menu, which is the only link to a website that supports the program in a Flash or HTML5. The only true apps installed on the machine are the Chrome web browser, as well as offline versions of Docs, Sheets, and Google's PowerPoint competitor slides. MacBooks and PCs, on the other hand, are made to be customized and come with the option to install literally hundreds of thousands of different programs and types of software at once. If you need something that can run Photoshop, play your favorite games, or even run an .flv video file, then a Windows laptop or MacBook would be the choice for you. Alright, so we have done a lot in this class today. We have looked at a lot, we have done a lot, and now we're actually going to get online and kind of take a look around at some of those pricing features. Feel free to have your web browser open also, so you're able to look up some of this stuff that I'm looking up as well. That way we can kind of compare shop together. And sometimes that just makes things a little bit easier. So now we are going to get online together and look up some of these computers that I mentioned throughout the class today. Okay, so now I have got us on a major screen here, and I'm just using Google, and we're just going to Google some of this stuff. So they were talking about the 14-inch Acer Aspire One Cloud. So let's type that in, 14-inch Acer Chromebook. We'll just mark on that. And here you go. They've got these, and here's some prices for you in different areas. Hopefully you can see this on the page. And you can start to go into some of those specs. I'm going to go to Amazon now. And this just kind of shows you what it's going to look like. If I scroll down, now it's going to tell me some of those specs that I can expect by having that. And this is a Chromebook again. So let's go back to Google. And now let's look at the Lenovo IdeaPad 100S. Now I can click on images here, and it's automatically going to show me some of those images. Sometimes just by looking at it, I can tell whether or not it's going to be something I'm going to want. This one has a review, so I could actually click on this and it's going to show me a review of that particular type. Let's take a look at the review. Well, maybe, if it wants to come up. Okay, well, it doesn't look like it wants to come up. But we can click through it this way, maybe? No. All right. Well, anyway, they had a bunch of different ways that you could. I'll tell you what, the most valuable resource you can possibly have is YouTube. So we're going to go into YouTube here, and let's type in IdeaPad. And here's tons and tons of videos about it.
So there's different ways that you can research what it is exactly you're looking for when it comes to these devices. Let's go back to our search. Using YouTube is going to be a really valuable resource for you. Get us back. Here we go. All right, back to Google. All right, let's just look up a couple other ones, and then we'll just kind of call this a day. That last one looked like it was about $255. You're just going to have to go in and figure out what's going to work best for you as far as your financial outlook. All right, so this one here, here's some of your prices. This one's a little bit cheaper. Here's a little video on YouTube, about 13 minutes long. You can get into some of the reviews to tell you a little bit more about them. Okay. And let's look up one more. Let's look up a Toshiba laptop, because I do believe that this would have Windows 10 on it, and it does. And you can see here we're starting to get into a little bit more pricier. If I go into shopping, I can see what some of these are running me and where I can get them from. You can get them cheaper than this, just to let you know. Also to let you know, I'm going to advertise a little bit for Walmart here. Something a lot of people don't know is that through Walmart.com, they really do offer a really great bundle package when it comes to a laptop. So I can actually go on Walmart.com, and here in my search engine, I can just type in laptop bundle. And now it's going to give me a search within this laptop bundle. Here I can get a laptop, a printer, and so forth. This one comes with headphones. Here's another one with a printer. So this one was a little bit cheaper. So if I click on my link, I'm now able to come in here and select my laptop. So I click on Start Choosing Now. This lets me know if I have any upgrades. For part of my package deal, this would be what I would be getting. But for an additional amount of money, I could actually upgrade to a laptop computer. And then if I click Next, now I'm ready to choose my bag. This adds $1, so I'm going to go ahead and add that on. And now I can choose my flash drive, because it comes with that. And for my printer, these three here look like I can get them at no additional cost. But if I want to start getting fancy, then I'm going to have to start paying a little extra. So I would be looking at about $414.74. I would also have to pay my taxes. My shipping would be free because I'm over a certain amount. So for $440, I was just able to get myself a laptop, a bag to keep it in, a brand new Wi-Fi printer, and a flash drive for extra storage for my laptop. So this is definitely an option that you want to kind of keep in mind. Laptop or Walmart does offer some bundle deals. Other places offer bundle deals as well, but I haven't seen one as good as Walmart at this point. So we have covered a lot when it comes to those Chromebooks and Windows 10. I'm hoping that you have a better understanding of why you should buy one. First off, what kind you should buy, the way that they look, what the difference is between Cortana and OK Google, some of the apps and software information, as well as storage and RAM that come on the device, differences between your screen, your keyboard, and your webcams, of course your photo and video editing software that's available to you, as well as web browsing, file management, productivity, gaming, media playback, security features that are available, hardware options, statistics that we looked at, and of course we went through the pricing today. So hopefully you have a better understanding of what the difference is between a Chromebook and Windows 10. If you're still confused and you need some more assistance, please feel free to get in contact with me. I would love to assist you on that. But thank you so much for being a part of the class today. I hope that you got something out of all of this.
And the winner is, well, according to the research I have done for this class, Windows 10 seems to beat out Chromebook for numerous reasons. However, only you can be the true decider. For you, maybe a Chromebook is just what you need and want. So even though our research shows that Windows 10 may meet needs better, this is not always the case. Research your options before you purchase and make sure to read reviews. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope that applause was nice for you there. Congratulations, you made it. You completed this course. You should be very proud of yourself. Take a deep breath and relax. It's all over. Without your participation, we wouldn't be able to stream these videos, so thank you. Make sure you join my group on Facebook, Tech Talk Technology. Any questions about this video, please feel free to email or call me. There's my email for you, or you can call me at 260-244-5541 at extension 118. And again, thanks so much for being a part of this. If it wasn't for you, I'd have no reason to do these. So I love getting feedback and comments, so make sure that you shoot me a little email or put a little comment on this video and let me know what you think. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. I'd like to thank the following resources for all their information when it came to the class today. Without their information and the value of the images and research done, this class could not take place. Thank you so much.